In order to receive your laser badge, you'll first need to successfully make your own laser cut name tag. In this video, we're going to go over all the steps required to properly prepare and set up your file for laser cutting and engraving. You'll need to successfully complete each laser operation, which includes vector cutting, vector marking, and raster engraving. Start by opening up Microsoft Teams and navigate to the Makerspace CT State Norwalk team. Click on the General channel, and then click on the Files tab here on the top. Find the Laser Resources folder and click to open it up, and there you'll find the nametag.ai file. Click on the three little dots here on the right, and then go to Download. This will most likely save it to your Downloads folder. Next, you're going to open up Illustrator. Click on Open, and then navigate to where you saved your nametag.ai file. Click on it, and then click Open. Double-click inside the text to activate it, and then double-click again to select it. Replace the text with your own name. Double-click one more time to select the text and choose your font and font size. You have the option of choosing one of the preset sizes from the drop-down, or you can type in your own size in the box. Next, grab your selection tool from the toolbar and drag select everything except the circle. Go to the top of the toolbar and click on the horizontal alignment tool and then your vertical alignment tool to center your text to the rounded rectangles. Adjust your circle so that it's placed on the top corner by grabbing it from the center dot and positioning it. We're going to apply our three different laser operations to our name tag. If you recall, these are vector cut, vector mark, and raster engrave. We want to vector cut the outer rectangle and the circle. We'll vector mark the inner rectangle as we don't want it to cut all the way through, but simply want to mark this line. And we'll raster engrave the text. In order to tell the laser that these are three separate operations, we'll assign them each a different color: red to cut, blue to mark, and black to engrave. Select the outer rectangle and then go to the upper left corner and click on the stroke drop-down box and select red. Do the same with the circle. Next, select the inner rectangle and make that line blue. That's everything we need to do inside Illustrator, so the next step is to go to File, Print. There are two things you need to do in this dialog box. The first is to select your printer. Choose Epilogue Engraver. The second thing is to change the media size to Custom. Click Print. This opens up the Epilogue Job Manager. It sometimes opens up in a small window, so you'll want to click on the box on the upper right corner to maximize it. Drag these lines to the edge of the view. Verify you're using the correct laser. There are two laser cutters. The larger one is called the Fusion Edge 24, and the smaller one is called the Zing. If you're using the Fusion Edge, you'll see an image of your cutting area as this laser comes with a live view camera. Your graphic may be hard to see, but if you place the cursor on the upper left-hand corner and drag select, you'll see it highlight your image. Drag it into place. Avoid moving it from one of the center or corner handles, as this will change the size of the graphic. It looks like we have just enough space between these two cutouts for our name tag, so we'll position it right in between. We'll now direct our attention to the right panel. Click on Split by Color. You should now see three different operations where each color is split into their own sections. We have the black text, the blue rectangle, and the red rectangle and circle. Let's start with the text. Click on the little folder with the down pointing arrow. Since this is a raster engrave operation, we'll select the Engrave tab and then scroll down to our material. We're using plywood, so scroll down to Wood and choose the Clip Art Text Engrave at 300 dpi option and click Import. This updates the settings for our resolution, speed, and power. The Direction button simply changes the direction of the engraving, whether the laser will engrave from top to bottom or bottom to top. I'm going to have it engraved from bottom to top, so I'll click on the arrow to change the direction. Our next operation is our blue vector mark rectangle, but let's skip this operation for now and first go to our red vector cut operation, our outer rectangle. Click to select it. This is going to be a vector cut operation, so we'll need to switch over to the Vector tab. Our material is 1/8 inch or 3mm plywood, so we'll select it from the list and click Import. Notice again that our settings for cutting this material are automatically filled in. Okay, now let's go back to the blue vector mark operation. We're going to start by repeating the last step of going into our material settings and importing the settings for cutting 1/8 inch plywood. However, we know that these settings will cut the material all the way through. If we don't want to cut all the way through the material, we have two options. We can either increase the moving speed of the laser head, or we can decrease the power. I'm going to choose to increase the speed. So let's drag the slider from 15 to 80. Go back and verify that each of your settings makes sense, and then click on Print at the bottom right of the screen.